on the importance of financial literacy. Welcome you, sir. I would also like to welcome the Head of Department of Management, Ms. Amulya Kurian, to this session. Welcome you, ma'am. And welcome dear faculty members and my fellow students. Welcome you all once again to this session, which we promise will be an inciting and fruitful one for all of us. Moving on, let me introduce the chief guest of the day. Mr. Alan George has completed his MCom and cleared UGC National Eligibility Test in the year 2019 and is working as an assistant professor in SFS College, Bangalore. Currently, he is pursuing PhD in finance with special reference to stock market and investor inclination. He is the coordinator for development of the Department of Business Administration of SFS College and is in charge of Personality Development Wing under Mahatma Gandhi National Council of Rural Education, grooming students to be rural entrepreneurs. An excellent academician, Mr. Allen has published several papers in various journals and is also a member of the Commerce PG Curriculum Committee of Kristu Jayanti College. It is indeed my immense pleasure to invite you for the talk, sir.
Thank you, Rakshita. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Christ College and the management for actually welcoming me for this wonderful session. I would like to thank once again Mr. Joseph, Sir Joseph, for this wonderful opportunity he has actually given to me. So, as you all know, this is one of the major booming topics right now that is actually prevailing throughout the globe right now. We are having a pandemic coming up like from nowhere. Like since 1920, there is no pandemic in the whole globe. And suddenly we are actually someone who is actually just seeing this pandemic right in front of our eyes. We were actually seeing so many things. We were actually seeing a complete lockdown that was never even heard about. Now, suddenly, when all these things are changing, we are having an opportunity to look at ourselves. And there are so many things I would like to talk. I'll just quickly show what all I will be just talking. I'll be just talking more about what is finance and why does it matter at the end of the day? And is it just confined to our commerce or only to the BBA department or to any other specific stream? So that will be the second thing I'll be just talking here. Then I'll be just talking about what is exactly financial literacy and how the financial literacy is changing the whole landscape. So, and I will be also talking about what will be the things that will be happening after this pandemic and what can possibly change the way in which we are looking at the money and the way in which we are actually thinking. But before I just go into the slides and just make you all bored up, I would just like to ask you something. If you are given a 10,000 rupee and if you are asked to purchase something, what will be that? Now, in this situation, people almost like in the 20s and 30s, they'll be always looking at something that will be something like a technical gadget or something that can actually just spend their whole money at just one shot. That is exactly what is happening right now, where we are spending so much than what we can actually earn. Now, this is not a problem. This is a very normal thing at the age of 20 or 25. Even I used to do that. Now I'm 26 to be very precise, but at the same time, within a 1 year period, within the pandemic shown up, the way what we were studying, what we were all reading in our books had all coming out from the books, and it's all actually happening in and around our life. So this is what exactly I just want to start my whole presentation with one person, Swami Vivekananda. If you can see the screen, it is exactly what that person is saying here. We are what our thoughts have made us. So what exactly are we thinking that exactly is going to happen to us? So our mindset. There are so many books that is actually talking about the mindset. There are so many people who are actually talking about the mindset. But what exactly is financial literacy going to do with all these mindset? But before I just go with the whole thing, I would just ask you some definite thing. How many of you literally hate mathematics? Like literally, statistics or maybe quantitative techniques. That is the subject that we all study in BBA, right? So you are literally like, I don't want to study maths because of maths, me as a person, I just rushed out from the whole science stream to the commerce just because I was scared about mathematics. I was literally scared about the tan, cos, sine, and all these things. I was literally scared, and I was so convinced with the fact that if I'm taking science, I'm not going to pass plus two. Now that's a thought. That's a thought that actually went into our mind. And from there, the fear of numbers got into all of us. Since from 10th standard or maybe in the 12th standard, in the first PUC or second PUC, we all got convinced with the fact that accountancy, finance is not something to do with money, or they are not going to do something with the finance or in the mathematics. So that is exactly what is exactly happening with each one of us here. The one quote I'm showing on the screen, if you can't convince someone, you can confuse them. When I was actually a student in my 7th standard, I was having so many doubts regarding my maths problems that was in the textbook. Why is it happening? How is it happening? Like a child, I used to actually think at that time. But the person who was teaching me was very brilliant, and she used to actually deviate me a lot. But at the same time, rather than me boasting the things, you know it, maths teachers are supposed to be scary after a point of time, because we are least bothered about maths after a point. Second thing, science looks so scary, it is scary, and the thought itself will be actually getting you, the thought of actually making you confused rather than convince you that it can be achieved. The same concept of I can't do that is actually coming into the money matters now. If you're actually given the same 10,000 rupee, are you able to spend it outrightly, or are you going to save it? Even if you save it, how are you going to save it? Where are you going to keep the money? Is it like you are going to keep the money entirely into your bed, or is it like you are just putting it into the bank account and will it grow? No. If you just keep it into the bank account, it will be there as a savings deposit. If you keep it as a fixed deposit, it will be there. You will be getting a minuscule amount of return. Now, how to make the money grow? Or in short, how to make the money multiply? That is where this whole topic of financial literacy comes up. That is where the beauty of how to make money is actually coming up. So there is a brilliant quote by one of the persons, one of the favorite writers of mine, that is Norman Vincent Peale. He has written that empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts do that. You don't want to be a brilliant person. You don't want to be Einstein. You don't want to be Elon Musk. You don't want to be a brilliant person to actually think about the money and make some things. A person who was trading in New York Stock Exchange was actually thinking about who is the most successful trader. And he was the founder of Harvard Business Magazine. That person was actually looking for the most successful trader in the stock market of New York Stock Exchange. Now, when he was actually searching for something like that, he asked his trader, can you actually tell me who is the most successful, or who is the most person who is actually making so much of profit? Now, the trader, the person who was actually the broker, told him that it is a person, I will just show it to you, but don't tell me, you won't believe me. Now, that person, the Harvard Business School person, actually went out with him, with the trader, and he actually met that person who was actually cultivating in a farm field. Can you imagine a farmer who didn't even pass his 10th grade is actually making brilliant amount of money than the people who studied MBA and all the finance topics, and still trying to actually outplay the market? Now, there was a very simple thing that the farmer told him. See, I'm not a brilliant person. I'm a very normal person. I just don't know how to play with money. But my strategy is very simple. I will just put the money when everyone is selling, and I will just take the money when everyone is buying. Same thing. You don't have to be a brilliant person to actually play with the money. You have to be just smart. That's where the whole presentation, as well as the whole thing of personal finance as well as financial literacy comes up. Okay, so I'll just show you three interesting people who always motivate me as a person. So these three people you are seeing on the screen, one is Jesse Livermore, second one is R.K. Dhamani, third one is Jim Simons. All these three people are prominent traders. All are aligned with the stock market. I will tell you people who are not interested in stock market, but just I will just start with this thing. So Jesse Livermore was a person who was at the age of 14. He was pulled out from his school by his father. Now his father was a person who was least bothered about his child's education, unlike our parents. Now when he did that, Jesse Livermore just thought that, okay, my life is going to end there. My life is going to end there because I don't have an education. And he always heard the mentality of the people who are actually with him, telling that if you don't study, you won't get rich. If you don't study, you won't get a degree. After you don't get a degree, you are not going to be anyone. No one will recognize you. Now that fire made him grow beyond what he was. He actually went to the stock market. He actually started as a very normal person. He started just pulling out the stickers from the stock trading box at the previous times, like almost like in 1900s or 1920s. There were no online trading platforms. They just had to just go there. They have to wait for the people to actually look at the things, and they have to see the prices. And there were something called as ticker tapes. Those ticker tapes were actually handled by Jesse Livermore at the age of 15 and 16. Now, when Jesse was doing that, he was understanding that there is a pattern. There is something that is always changing and happening again and again. Now, Jesse was so curious to see that thing, and finally he found out something. He understood that there's a pattern. He understood the pattern. He started putting in the money and he started getting the return. And he was one of the richest traders in the whole stock market scenario. Same way, I'm just showing you an Indian, Radhakrishnan Damani. I hope many of you had heard this name at least once in your lifetime, because even if you never heard about this person, I hope you had heard about DMart, right? He is the person, or he is the DMart is the brainchild of Radhakrishnan Damani. He is the person who actually envisioned DMart to be what you are actually seeing in the nook and corner of the Bangalore and almost like every part of the country. He was a person who was a dropped out from BCom, that too from the University of Mumbai in almost like 1950s or 60s. Now, what is exactly happening with him? He is one of the richest people in the country right now. Do he have a degree? No. Was he a smart person? He was definitely a smart person, but he was not an educated person. So education and getting rich or having a financial inclination is entirely different. That is what I was actually trying to say. Now, these two people were never studying anything. These two people were least bothered. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't want to study. That is where Jim Simons comes up. He was a brilliant mathematician. He was a person who was taking so much of interest in the exact opposite of these things. He was a mathematician. He understood that there is a pattern in the money when we are actually talking about just about stock market. So all these people were so curious about one thing, study. But what to study, how to study is a question mark. I can actually tell you that just go and study about stock market, just go and study about mutual funds, just go and study about anything that can make you rich. There are millions of options, but how to make authentic things happen, that's where I'll just guide you right now. So that is where the whole topic of financial literacy comes up. If you want to make money, if you want to see how the money works, if you want to see what is exactly money doing, you will understand how to play with the money. I'll just give you a simple example of the classic person called Vijay Mallya. You know who is he, you know what he did, and you know where is he. Is he in the jail? No. Did he committed suicide? No. What was he doing? He was literally rolling out the money from a whole system. And no one is questioning him. Yes, people are questioning him. CBI is behind him. We have Nirav Modi same way. We have many different people who are actually running out with the money. Now, these people exactly know how to play with the money. No, I'm not asking you to do like that. But understand that people like you and me, people like poor farmers, are actually struggling with the debt, or they are keep on going into debt trap. And then there are people like Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, just spending their lifetime happily in another foreign country, and they are just still alive. But what about the normal people like us who actually consider money as the root cause of all evil? Is it? Is money the root cause of all evil? No. Lack of money as well as the literacy in money or finance is what is the root cause of all evil. If you don't know anything, you will say that it is bad. That is what we used to say. If you don't know how the things are happening, you will say that no, it was bad. The same way I used to say that maths, no, it is very bad subject. No, I'm not going to learn that thing. Why? Because I didn't know math. I didn't know how to study that thing. Now, the same person who told that math is a difficult subject is trying to do something with math. Now, math is one of the favorite subjects of mine just because of the fact that this has a huge potential. If you love a subject, it will love you back. That is where exactly the money part also comes in. If you have the guts to love something that is going to hurt you, like you just go behind any person that is going to hurt you in your lifetime when you're in the college or when you are actually having some affection towards someone, that is maybe a toxic thing, but at the same time there is having a huge potential to convert that negativity to a positivity. That is where the financial literacy part comes in. That is where the government of our country is trying to impart the financial literacy part. So if you just look at the RBI website, you can see that from February 10 to February 14, we are actually celebrating Financial Literacy Week of 2020. How many of you knew it? Even the person who is just doing the presentation also never knew that, because it is almost confined to an area. People like you and me are least bothered, or we are not well aware of what is the power of the money or the finance. Now, that is where exactly we should look at other economies, or we should look at other countries that are doing the same thing. We are having the examples of USA, Australia, Canada, Malta. Even the smallest countries are actually imparting this kind of education to their youngest generation. But what are we doing? You are learning management accounting, you are learning cost accounting, you are learning investment management, you are learning different subjects, you are learning even quant. But what is the use of it? You are least bothered about what is the practical application. We can't just blame the students, we can't just blame the society, we can't just blame the people who are actually running the whole show, because this is how we our society is made. Now what to do to come out of this thing? That is where I'm just coming out again with the whole topic: how to learn, where to take the money, how to learn from where to actually get the whole thing happen. Simple topic, very simple solutions, but very impactful ones. Learn from YouTube. Now, just go to YouTube, search for financial literacy. You will get a million search results. Will confuse you. Definitely, it is supposed to make you confused, because there is an information overload that is happening here. You will be confused like never before, but at one point you will start getting something, a grip of that language or grip of that topic. Once you start getting that thing, you will try to impart what is that. So go to YouTube, search for financial literacy. Now, don't just go with everything. If you are a person who can understand Hindi, just go with CA Rajana Ranade. I'm not trying to just impart one YouTube channel or something, but whatever I am just experiencing, whatever I am just seeing, I am just trying to communicate it to you. Just go to CA Rajana Ranade, a beautiful person, beautiful descriptions, beautiful things she's explaining regarding financial literacy. Then, if you are a person who is interested in English and you are like to see what is exactly happening more with these kind of things, go and search for Robert Kiyosaki. I'll just tell you about that person more before I just go forward. Now, if you are not interested in YouTube also, just go to Google search. Just go and search in Investopedia. If you want to start doing some kind of a presentation, you know that where to go and search, Wikipedia or Investopedia. That is where the whole money part comes up. That is where everything you just want to search in crisp short. Before you just want to go and start thinking about what is money, learn what is money. That can definitely make huge impact in the way in which you are thinking. That can make a huge impact in the way in which you are actually making things happen. Now you may be asking, sir, we never had any money to actually have something like this. We never had the capital. Now how to do that? You don't need some millions of rupees to actually start something. You don't want lakhs and lakhs of rupees to just invest into something or to put even a bank account. Small savings, literally small savings that you can have. Maybe many of you may be even having part-time jobs. Many of you may be just doing some kind of an online job. Some people may be just going for some kind of delivery thing. So all these things are very normal. That is how it should be happening. Be proud of yourself, because you are one among the people who are actually able to run the country tomorrow, because people who don't know how to have the grip of life will never be successful. So if you are doing like this, wonderful. And if you are not doing it, try to do it, because whatever you are learning in the textbook is limited because of the practical applications. Now, where to go about this thing? When I was a student, when I was in my 10th or in the 12th, I used to ask my parent how to make money. Shh, I'm not supposed to speak, because it's like it is confined, because it is just restricted in such a way that you are not supposed to make money when you're studying. You study now, after that, you just make the money. It is nothing like after a degree you will start printing notes. No, nothing like that will happen. At the end of the day, it is you who have to learn how to make the money. And that takes time, that takes efforts. But if you know how to make it, how to play with it, you will be doing much better in your lifetime. But at the same time, feel free to ask your parents. Now, just don't go directly to your parents and ask that, hey, how much is your salary? No, don't talk like that. That is not what I'm asking. The essence is that learn how they are dealing with the money. If they are handling it well, learn from them. If they are not, learn from that also, how not to handle it. So have a mentality of a child where you can actually just go and learn from anything. If you're studying about stock market, if you're hearing about stock market, hear what is exactly that. Before you just jump into the stock market, see what is that. If you're hearing about mutual funds, listen to what is that. Now, if you are a person who don't want to read, if you're a person who don't want to watch YouTube, there is one more option called podcast. That is where one other beautiful thing comes up. Podcasts are like online platforms which will be just giving you audio tapings, where they will be just telling you what exactly is this thing. There are beautiful channels which is actually talking about money. Hear more about money, hear more about our economy. You will be loving whatever you are learning in your classrooms. Now, when you're learning something that you love, you will be actually beautifully handling that subject in the examination. So automatically, whatever you're learning will be applicable in your life, and you'll be much more happy and content with whatever you're actually doing. Then there are many other alternatives to where to learn the things from. You have something called as LinkedIn. You have something called as newspapers. The most thing, like almost like no one will be using in the next generation, but newspapers are phenomenal if you're actually looking at certain things. Newspapers are phenomenal. Then study from the history, like what our generations, what our previous people were doing with their money, how they were dealing with the money. So these all things you can actually keep it in your mind, like from where to learn regarding the money. Now, next is one of the beautiful presentations I just want to present you regarding, if you are actually interested in reading, where to read about the money, how to read about the money. Now, this is a topic that no one can actually talk within 1 hour and can tell that I just kept you everything regarding financial literacy. Go and just make the money. No, it is not like that. It is a process. It is a step by step. You have to understand what is it before you start earning. Start to learn what you're trying to do. There is a quotation given by one of the famous investors. I hope you might have heard it. If you don't know what is that, don't invest into that. Warren Buffett. One of the beautiful presentations done by Warren Buffett was that, I hope many of you had heard that name if you have ever heard about stock market. That person was one of the phenomenal people who actually invested into the basics of the company, that is the fundamentals of the company, and made brilliant profits. Now, is he the best one? No, there are much more beautiful people who actually just created immense profit than him. Now, how to learn about these things? Study from the experiences of the people who were ahead of you. Now, I just told you someone regarding Robert Kiyosaki. Now, this is the book written by Robert Kiyosaki, that is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One brilliant, amazing book. If you just read that thing, definitely the way you look at the money will be changing. The second one is regarding Intelligent Investor. One boring book, but if you read that thing, definitely you're going to get the grip of the money. It will be somewhere around this much in size, but definitely if you can read this thing, that is where the podcast part comes up. If you can listen to that book audio way, like you listen to music, you can hear the whole book, and that is brilliant. Like you are not wasting your money, you are not wasting your time, but at the same time you are actually making so much of impact in yourself. The more you talk about money, the more you will be gaining the intention automatically in your mind to make the money. It is not in a wrong way. It is like talk about the money where you literally want to talk. Then there's another book written by Gary Vee, that is Crushing It. One phenomenal book which is actually telling you how to make things happen. He was a person who was from a very humble background, now running a multi-million dollar business. So all these things are very phenomenal things. Now, I'm not just going to read out the presentations. You can actually see certain things. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. You don't want to learn how to make money, but learn what will make you money. Learn certain things that can literally change the way in which you are looking at something. Go with someone who can actually talk to people, talk and listen to people. Now, if you just look at the history of Reliance Industries, the person Dhirubhai Ambani was a very normal person, a Gujarati who was never least bothered about how to actually get rich. He was a person who was concerned about how to make himself a better person. The more you invest into yourself, that will make you rich. That will make you financially literate. How to make the money is all aligned with how you are actually making the passion work. You had seen the example of Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. These people was never least bothered about their financial literacy. They were just concerned about what they want to achieve, what they wanted to be. When that happened, they actually realigned the way in which people are looking at them. Microsoft, Facebook, I don't want to introduce anything regarding any of these companies. You know how they are working. So go behind your passion. Now, how to find passion is a difficult topic, but learn how to do that. Now, always understand in your mind that the way you look at the money will be always making changes in the outcome. If you consider money as evil, definitely you're going to lose it. Consider money as a friend of yours, but never consider money as everything. It is a way through which you can actually reach to what you literally want. lack of money is the source of evil. George Bernard Shaw. If you have the money, use it. Even if you're having 1 lakh rupee per month, and if you're not using it properly, definitely it is going to make you lose at the end of the day. And even if you're having 10,000 rupee per month, and if you can save a substantial amount of that, there is something called as compounding effect. Year after year, if you're actually investing into the right places, if you're actually keeping the money into the right places, it will be phenomenal. Now, you may be wondering where to keep the money, how to keep the money. There are various platforms I would just want to show you. Maybe like younger generation, there are people like, if you just want to talk about money, there are people like I just mentioned regarding Gary Vee, Instagram. You just get into Instagram, you just search for money. Just go and find out a search toolbar where you can actually go with one hashtag money and you will see what exactly are they doing. This is the Instagram page of Gary Vee where he's actually literally showing how the money can be made. You can literally see, just go and see this thing. I know that none of you will be actually not using an Instagram account. You will be having almost like maybe 2 or 3 accounts, depending upon what you're actually following, what you're doing. Now, if you're having so much of time, just look at what other people are doing. Financial literacy is not something anyone can teach you. It is something you are finding out from yourself. So this is one best way, one best way, that is Instagram itself. The second one, as you already know, Twitter. If you want to actually look into something, if you want to see how the people are doing otherwise, if you actually want to be like someone, like just imagine you want to just talk like a person who is best in your school or in the college, you definitely have to follow him. You literally stalk them, right? Same way, you have to stalk the people who are actually successful. Literally do that. Not like not to irritate them, but look at the way in which how they are dealing the things. Look at the way in which how they are actually handling the situation. That will make things differently in the way in which you are looking at certain situations. That will be phenomenal. So I'm not asking you to just go and read from the books. Go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go to LinkedIn. I hope you had heard about that term. LinkedIn is also one phenomenal setup where you can actually have a brilliant network with different people from different backgrounds. That will be just giving you what to be. And the moment you upload yourself, like just follow something. If you actually want to see what exactly is the something, maybe Python in finance, you just want to see how the money works. There are certain tools called Python. Then again, we have many other tools called SAP and all these things. So whenever we are talking about money, there are immense opportunity for anyone to actually find things from. So just go and search for these kind of things where you will be actually having so much of grip regarding what you are supposed to do and how things are actually going to happen. Then definitely there are things like Wikipedia, WikiHow. If you don't know, now the most brilliant thing about finance industry as a whole is that they will just confuse you with technical jargons, options, futures, stocks. These are very small and minute things anyone can understand. But by just talking about the technical things, by just showing you the charts, by just telling you that this will be so hard, money, blah, 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 it is going to just take out the whole sense out of you. If a farmer in US, he didn't even complete his graduation, he didn't even complete his schooling, can actually be the most brilliant person who invested into the stock market according to Harvard Business Magazine. Imagine what you can do who is a graduate, who will be a graduate in the upcoming years. You are having beautiful teachers, you'll be having beautiful faculties who will be just supporting you throughout. If you are learning something, see what is the practical applicability of that thing. That can definitely make huge changes. If you're talking about stock market, if you're talking about maybe mutual funds, see and see what exactly is happening in the situation right now. I think this can actually make huge impact in the way in which we are looking at things. And modern techniques like Instagram, I don't think that anyone is actually deprived of Instagram. If you just look at the way in which these people are working or in the way in which they are putting the money out somewhere, phenomenal. Just go and see how they are doing it. It is a brilliant thing. The more you talk about money, the more chance for you to actually earn the money. If you are not having the mindset to actually talk about money, the chance of you to actually get rich or to get financially stable will be higher. Now, I'm not asking you to just go and find out everything about money in one day. It is a gradual process. It has to be a gradual process. That is how it should be done. It is a step by step procedure. You can't do it by like suddenly all of a sudden. Now you can't search everything into Google and within 1 or 2 days you'll be like, I'm tired of this thing. That is not I'm asking you to do. Learn what is everything that is taught in the classes. See what is happening outside. When RBI is cutting the interest rate, see what is interest rate. Why they cut the interest rate? Why are they doing that? You may be actually learning everything about RBI. Now, in reality, you may be wondering, what is RBI? A tiger on a symbol. That's RBI. That was the concept that I used to have when I was actually having my degree. When I was at your age, I was having RBI's concept as a tiger on a rubber stamp. That's all I had to know. That's the only thing. RB is printing the currency notes. That's all I knew about the whole thing. So when you are comparing me and you are definitely in a much better position. So there's a chance of you to actually learn more every single minute. You have the most powerful tool within your reach right now. What you're learning, what you're actually seeing right now, how you're communicating right now is through something called as internet that has immense power. Learn from whatever opportunities you can have. It is not like you have to just put out your studies, you have to put out your career, everything, and learn about money. No. At the end of the day, after your career, after you get enough money from the salary, you have to save every single penny you can. Because when people were not saving, we had seen what happened in COVID 19, right? There are people who lost their jobs, there are people who are struggling, there are people who are actually not able to they just passed out and they are not getting a job. Now there are people who are actually confined within one job and they can't actually skip from one to another. So there is no more recession proof jobs. There is no more chance for you to actually run from the reality of money. Only thing is that unless you build yourself a recession proof career through actually understanding what is money and how money can be dealt, see the wonders of money that can do to you. Count every penny that is actually going out from you. Now, if you actually want some 100 rupee, you'll be having phone pay, you'll be having Google Pay, you'll be having Paytm, everything. The pain of paying money is actually very less nowadays. The moment you actually want to transfer 1,000 rupee to one's bank account directly over a phone, and the way in which you are actually just spending directly from your pocket, like physically you're taking that 1,000 rupee and giving it to them. Sorry, 2,000 rupee, 1,000 rupees banned now, right? 2,000 rupee are giving it to him. It will be entirely different. The pain of paying is very less. So because of that, we are having a temptation to spend more now. Now, that is also one thing you have to keep a track of. Always keep a track of money that is actually flowing out from you. Always think about the cash flows. When you're talking about cash flow statement in the accounts, always understand that it is not just in the accounts you have to keep it in your mind. See how much money is flowing into your account, see how much money is flowing out of your account. The moment you get a 10,000 rupee, don't just go for buying a phone. See how much you can save, see how much you can actually keep the money, and see whether you can make the 10,000 rupee into a 15,000 rupee in the next 2-3 months. It is possible. There are immense opportunities. I'm telling it to you outrightly because I had done it, I had been doing it. You can do it because I already did that. So, second thing, hustle hard now and make it hard later. Many of you may be having a mentality that anyway, COVID, no more jobs in the next 3 years, nothing like that. If you are having a mindset to get a job, if you are actually thinking about having an opportunity up ahead, you are going to make it. It doesn't matter what, if there's a corona, if there's a whole globe, if there's a world recession, or if the globe is ending also, it doesn't matter. Even if that is the end of the world, if you are having a will to do that, you can do it. And I'm not just telling you just because of I had seen things, I had been experiencing these things. See how the magic can do to you if you're having that mentality. Every single dime counts. Even if it's a single rupee that is actually flowing out from you, everything will be counted at the end of the day. People who are actually from poor backgrounds, ask them what is the reality of money. They will know it. People who is rich right now understand what is money right now. Otherwise, you will be regretting in a later point of time. And always understand that save, invest, and grow. Very easy to say save, invest, and grow, right? Where to save? Save it in the most feasible way for you. I'm not asking you to jump into stock market. I'm not asking you to just put it into mutual funds. I'm just asking you to save money, keep the money with you, and see how much money you can hold with yourself. Whenever you are having money, you'll be having a temptation to actually spend it. If you can actually suppress it, I'm not asking you to stop spending. Keep spending. I'm not asking you to stop spending at all. Keep spending. Spend every single rupee wherever you want to in the most feasible way. After you spending, you shouldn't have a prick of conscience that I shouldn't have actually spent on that thing. That should not happen to you. Always think and do that. And before you actually think about making money, try to learn about money. That is one important thing. Maybe you may be having millions of rupees in your accounts, but if you don't know how to keep that money within your account, it's everything. It's actually everything you have to learn. I hope you had heard about Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani, two brilliant business magnates who had been phenomenal, literally. Now, look at the way in which Mukesh Ambani is and Anil Ambani is. This is the reality of the world. Just because you are having money with you right now doesn't mean that you won't be poor in the next days. It is just a matter of time. You can lose the whole thing. It is just a span of time, everything can lose out from you. But again, if you are having the willingness to actually keep on going, you definitely can make it happen. So before you try to earn something, try to learn how to make it happen. You are having immense opportunities than any generation on the face of the earth till date. You can do it because there are people like you and me who is actually worried about money, who can be worried about money. But if you literally see how the people who are actually having a grip over money, learn from them. Talk about money to different people. Talk about what is their concept. Now, the person who is actually spending on a lottery ticket, maybe I had seen people who are spending 500,000 rupees on a single lottery ticket. Now, how much, like, what is the logic behind that thing? Your chance of earning that money is very less, but you are actually spending it. The same person, if that person is asked to actually put that 500 rupee to just buy something for him, he'll be actually like, no, I don't want to buy it because it's 500 rupee and 1000 rupee. Now, what is that? It is just the mindset. It is called biases. There's an entirely different stream of study that is called as behavioral finance, which is actually talking about the mindset of the people. Now, psychology, finance, all these things are one or the other way aligned. I was talking about maths, right? The same maths is actually in the finance. The math you are actually talking about is having its impact from the psychology. So everything that you learned and heard till date is all a single point. It is just one thing that you are learning from a different perspective. Everything is all aligned together. Learn about all these things, and you do not actually learn about everything. You have to learn about everything that you are hearing in the minimal way you can. Understand, try to do these things, then definitely you can actually make the way in which you are looking at the world and the money in a much more beautiful way. I hope you guys are understanding everything. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Thank you. I hope you guys can actually talk regarding the money things or major things because it is just not the presentation, it's your doubts that is actually going to make changes. Yes. Many of you may be having doubts.
Thank you, sir. That was
Yes. Yes. Continue.
so informative and insightful, sir.
Thank you.
May I now request the audience to ask their questions, if any?
How do we invest the amount? Now, I'm just trying to share the screen. I hope that is fine. Can I actually share the screen? Arshit. Yes.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you actually just give me the permission to share the screen? Yes. Yes. So there was one simple doubt, but a very powerful thing, how to invest the money. Like what I was mentioning, you are having immense opportunities. So I just told immense opportunities, and it was a very blanket statement, which was actually like anything can be immense, right? How to put the money, where to put the money, all these things can be a bit confusing. My screen sharing is post. Okay. Yes. I hope you can actually see this thing right now. So if you just look at the money, do the money always hold some value? No. Money doesn't have an intrinsic value of its own. It is an implied value that is actually happening. We have a fiduciary system in our country where RBI is telling that this currency you are holding is having its value. Now, does it always have the value? You just go with the Indian rupee to China and you are actually telling that just give me something for this 100 rupee. Will you get something? Until unless there is a currency exchange, nothing will get to you. So that is the reality. But the same way, if you're actually just having some gold with you and you're actually going to same Chinese person, I just want something, he will just give it to you because it is gold. It has an intrinsic value. It has a value of its own. So understand that there is a huge difference between what the currency you are holding and what is exactly worth valuing. Now, if we just look at the way in which the market was functioning, you can see that in the last 6 months, the price of the gold is actually shooting up like ever before, like never before. Like literally, it is shooting up. Why is it? Because always there is a risk that is associated with the money, that is the dollar, the rupee, the currency, the yen, whatever you just call it, it always has a risk. Stock market has a risk, mutual funds has a risk. What is your risk? That depends where to invest the money. If you think that you can actually have, you can play with the money, like even if you are losing that entire amount at one point, you can directly go to stock market. But I'm not just asking you to just directly go and flush the whole money out. No, learn about that thing. There is something called as paper trading. Paper trading is where you are actually writing down the prices of the stocks and you're actually learning how much is the price going up and down. And according to that, you are learning the thing and you're actually entering there. So start doing paper trading. There are various platforms that is actually just dealing with paper trading where they'll be actually teaching you how to trade. Now, reality may be different. So if you just want to do that, first thing you just go and take a PAN card. Like my own faculty, Dr. Muthukumar sir, who was actually a part of my PG course, he used to say that if you want to actually get into something seriously, just go and directly find yourself in the income tax department. Just you have to make a PAN card before you just go with anything related to money. Take a PAN card, first thing. Second thing, if you actually want, if you're actually interested in learning things, learn from various platforms. The easiest thing is YouTube, because according to what you're searching, YouTube will be having its algorithm. They will be just giving you the chance to actually see the most beautiful things if you're continuously searching for something. Like the more you search, the more you get. That is the reality that is happening right now. I hope you know how the searches are working. If you search for something, there will be millions of search results that will be coming to you one by one. So try to search for those things. If you keep searching, you will get it. It is nothing like something new. I just told one channel name, CA Regina Ranade, an amazing person who is actually teaching how to invest the money. Same way, Robert Kiyosaki, amazing person who is actually teaching you how to play with the money. The more the grip you have, the more it is to you. Save the money tips, simple. Reduce your spending. Now, if you are reduce your spending and if you still don't have the money, learn about money till you are actually earning the money. Learn about money till you start earning your money. Definitely, when you are actually learning, you can't actually expect yourself to actually save so much of money because you'll be just running out of the money so quickly, right? Now, if something like this happens, what is your chance? Learn about these things before you are actually getting in a job. Now, before you getting in a job, you just learn all these things. The moment you get a job, you get your salary. First 3 months, anyway, it will be gone. But after that, start saving. Once you know where to keep the money, definitely you know how to play the money. Once you do that, the way in which you will be just saving the money, the way in which you will be actually improving the quality of your life will be phenomenal. Try it, you will be amazed. Yes, just a second. There is one more question, sir. You can prove me wrong. As you told, invest, but learn how and where to invest. According to me, money comes to a hand based on our fate. Imagine I have invested in a big company like Bajaj Auto Finance. If my fate is bad, the market of the company can go down and end with a loss, which was having a great amount of return. Definitely. I just told you according to the risk aversion. Now, everyone don't want to lose the money, but at the same time, you just want to make the money. That is where the grip of the game is. So if you are actually just betting, I hope many of you had heard about the company called Dream 11 or the online platform called Dream 11, right? So if you want to just bet the money, you have to invest the money, right? There is something that you are always risking. Even if you are taking a lottery ticket, that amount you are actually putting into a lottery ticket is much better. Because it's like you are actually thinking that if I'm just getting that lottery of 1 crore rupee with just spending 500 rupee, great, right? I'm just earning so much more than I can even imagine, right? But at the same time, there is always risk associated. If you can buy a lottery ticket for 500 rupee, definitely you can buy a stock for 100 rupee, right? Now, if you're actually wanted to buy a stock, you don't have to actually just go with tens and thousands of rupees. 100 rupee, 10 rupee, 12 rupee stocks are there in the stock market. See that you will be wondered. I was a person who was always saying that stock market, no, I don't have that much money. When I was actually entering that thing, there were one point of time I actually literally bought 2 rupee stocks. Literally, I just bought 2 rupee stocks and that's it. One 2 rupee stock, I just got it because I just want to learn whether it is going to happen or not. It may look so funny, but literally, I'm telling you, if you can actually have the guts to enter into that market, but don't put the whole money all together. Always understand that there's a chance of you to even lose the money. That 2 rupee also can go from you, but at the same time, that 2 rupee can make you 4 rupee. And once that get to 4 rupee, don't invest everything you have in your pocket to that stock market. You will be doomed. Before that, I just told learn, learn, and learn. Learn from different sources, search for different opportunities, learn from different people who are having knowledge about these things. That will get you the result. Now you may tell that I don't have anyone like that. You have internet, my dear. If you have internet, you are connected to people. I just told you where to get people from. Instagram, where you're actually always been there. Twitter, many of you may be even there. LinkedIn, get into there if you're not there. Then definitely Wikipedia, it is there. Search for that. That's it. Yes. So definitely fate is there, but at the same time, you can change your fate if you know how to invest into the stock market. There is something called as technical analysis. There is something called as fundamental analysis. If you're good with these two things, definitely it is going to change. Now, I just introduced a person called Jim Simons, right? Search for Jim Simons in the internet. You will see whether the things can go wrong or not. He is a person who is actually giving you returns of about 66% of what you're investing. If you're actually putting 1 lakh rupee, he'll be just giving it to you about 1,66,000 rupee at the end of the year. Now that is not fate. That is actually called brilliance. That is what you learn from the stock market. That is what you learn about money. The people like Vijay Mallya, they know that they will go to jail, but are they in the jail? Now there are people who are like small farmers who are actually thinking about the money, worried about the money, committing suicide. What's the difference? Mindset is the difference. If you always look at the negative things, nothing is going to happen. If you look at the positive things, definitely everything is going to happen. That is everything. Change your mindset, phenomenal things will happen to you. Digital stock market or physical stock market, which one is better, sir, according to your opinion? We are all in digital era, so physical stock markets are no more working as far as I know. I don't know anyone who is actually literally going to stock market and just going there and just standing and shouting. So digital stock market is what I know. So digital stock market, yes. Even Dream 11 we will learn based on our fate, sir. Dream 11 is not based on fate, it is called gambling. Literally it is called gambling because you don't know whether any person, like you don't know whether Virat Kohli is going to play today or not. Like whether he's going to hit a 50 or he's going to get a duck. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Whether RCB is going to win or not, we don't know. But at least in stock market, we can get to know that some point of time, stock market has never betrayed anyone. It has been growing one by one. It was never like stock market was never falling down, always growing. I'm not just asking you everyone to go to stock market, but learn about the things. These things, investment management is a subject that you're learning, at least BBA third year. Right. Yes, it is a subject. Right now you're learning it. Learn that thing. Whenever you're learning it, try to attach it with the reality, the practical aspects, then it will be phenomenal. See what is futures, for example, futures. See what is actually happening in the real stock market. Even if you are losing the money, just imagine you are losing the money, entire money. At least you will be knowing what is that. Now that mistake, you won't be doing it in the future. That is the guarantee I can give it to you. Learn. That's all. How in Instagram, sir? Hashtag money. Search it, you will get it. Something with the money or financial literacy. Search for that, you will get it. Only one tip I can give you, search for the things that you're getting in internet. Internet will give it to you. That is the reality, to be very frank. We can't trust internet all time, sir. Some may cheat us too. Believe. That's where you are not going to believe one person. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe one person who is telling it to you. Search for 10 people. If 4 people are actually giving you the same explanation, you can have a 50% of a confirmation. If it is a 60 people are 6 people are telling out of the 10 people, you can almost believe. But always understand that everyone is trying to cheat you. So keep a grip of that thing in your mindset. Never go beyond anything. Never think that money is everything. Money is just a part of the things. Money is not evil, but thinking that money is everything is evil. So keep it in your mind. Yes. Any doubts? Definitely you can't trust internet. You can't
So
just,
we have a question.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, we have a person raising his hand among the participants.
Yes. You can actually
Tony.
Yes, Tony. Okay, I think that was a mistake. Did I just actually miss any questions? How to save the money? One thing, if you can save the money, just try to actually keep, like if you can actually keep 20 or 40 percentage. I'm not asking you to save the entire money you are getting as a pocket money or maybe the salary you are getting. No, it is not how it works. Keep 100 rupee today. Make it try to keep the another 200 rupee tomorrow. Like it is a process, not one morning I'm like, I'm going to save everything. No, tomorrow you are going to spend everything. So try to do it a step by step procedure. It is not going like it won't happen overnight. You can't build Rome in one day. It takes days, months, maybe years. But at the end of the day, definitely you will be a successful person if you know how to handle the money. So always think that it is a process. Like if you want to get a six pack, if you want to just be beautiful, if you want to have a perfect body, you know how to work out, right? Same way, financial literacy is also something like this. Now, if you want to start trading in the stock market, nothing like, see, for getting a job, you are actually learning for almost like 10 or 12 years. Not 12 years, you are having 10 years of schooling, 2 years of PU degree, I mean PU, then again you have 3 years of graduation, and then you're going and getting a job. And there also they will be giving you training. But for investing in the stock market, you will be just opening a platform and you'll be just entering there. No, that's why I'm asking you to learn that thing. Like definitely practically when you're learning that thing, huge changes will be there, but learn not by risking everything that you're having in your hand. Go with 100 rupee, go with a 200 rupee, go with minimum amounts, try to search the things, understand how the things are functioning, then you try to play with the whole thing. Then when you start earning, you just try to do the thing. Now, whatever you can do now, try to keep a portion of your money with you and just make things happen. Like don't ask your parents to just give me 10,000 rupee and just going to put it in the stock market. No, you are going to lose the whole 10,000 rupee. I'm guaranteeing it to you. Learn that thing, then you do it. It will be phenomenal to you. It will change the way in which your parents will be looking at you. You will be looking at yourself in the mirror, and the lifetime will be actually, it will be changing the whole scenario. Yes. Any more doubts? I think I scared you enough. So if you have any doubts, like a normal person, I can actually answer it to you if you're actually comfortable with that thing. Yes. Anything else? Fate always wins with brilliant minds. Fate always wins, definitely. Otherwise, we won't be having a COVID now. But always understand that during COVID, Reliance Geo raised millions of rupees. He took money from Google, he took money from Facebook. So it is all here. Mindset. If you see positivity in the least possible way, things will change. Because if you think that it's COVID, nothing will happen, I am not going to invest any money. If Ambani was thinking that thing, he will be still one of the normal persons in India. But Mukesh Ambani thought differently, and look at what he is doing right now. His own brother, Anil Ambani, just thought that, okay, I am not going to do anything, and he is still surviving somewhere in his lifetime. But the way in which he was doing was entirely phenomenal, like Mukesh Ambani. You can have the people who are actually, the people who are rich are not rich by chance. They are rich by because of a reason. Keep that in mind. Try to stalk them. I am just giving you a pro tip. Try to stalk them, not by irritating them, but see what they are doing, how they are spending their time, what is their lifestyle. Not like they are just going from one country to another, they are just spending their holidays. No, before they are spending their holidays, they are hardworking somewhere. See what they are doing, learn from there. Yes. I think there was no such like something like I just scared you all. I hope things were clear to you. So I think the time is getting over. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christ College, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. James George, Father James George, Father Eben, and Joseph sir for this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Rekshita, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thank you for addressing all our queries, sir.
Yes.
As we come to the end of this session, I invite Ms. Prema from 2nd BBA to deliver a vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all.